So joining us now here on Ocali Unreported. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, by the way. Welcome, America, to Ocali Unreported, episode 5. Today, we're joined here by our good friend of the show, Chief Leon Jones of the OSU Police Department. Chief Jones, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'd like to thank you guys for having me on.
Of course, man. Yeah, I mean, we would be remiss if we did not have you on here today. Chief Jones, I feel like more people need to know about you, okay? People need to know your background because you have an interesting life story, I think. I was reading up a little bit about it, and just for hearing, some of what people had to say about you, you've got some interesting tales to tell. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah. It's been a great ride this far, from growing up all the way to where I am now. I'm blessed. I'm just still kind of absorbing it in, I guess.
Right. Yeah, man, I bet. Like, for example, for starters, tell everybody where you're at right now.
Right now, I'm in Indianapolis with basketball. So as they prepare for the NCAA tournament, I'm here with them.
Okay, so from there, okay, I'm going to ask you about what sort of your roles are there, but what is it like there? I mean, are they having their own little bubble right now, or what is?
Yeah. This is incredible. They've done such a tremendous job. So we're at the JW Marriott Convention Center. And so the hotel is connected to a convention center where they got practice floors set up and everything. So once we got inside the hotel side, contact with other people, we test every day. And I mean, it's incredible that they got this whole thing set up the way it is.
Look at that. It sounds like the NBA bubble from last summer. It's very interesting. Yeah.
All 68 teams right here.
There you go. Yeah. Have you run into anybody fun so far, or are you guys really all just like tightly knit there, just staying OSU?
So we're kind of tightly knit, but each team has their own floor, and we have run into other teams and coaches that I've met that used to work at OSU and now at other places, and just people that I've, seen at other schools. So it's kind of fun. It's like a reunion in a way.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah. Has there been anyone specific that you'd like to talk about that you ran into, maybe an old friend or someone like that from another school?
Oh, right now I'm still looking around to see. I want to see if I can catch up with Coach Tommy Wade. I'm trying to think of one of the coaches' name that I just ran into about 15 minutes ago. We used to have a lot of fun, tell a lot of jokes and stuff on trips, and it's just so many people. A lot of managers I want to see that I hadn't seen since they graduated, and I'm kind of excited to be here.
I bet, man. Yeah, that is a great experience for you too. And tell everybody now, like what you kind of do, right? Like I feel like a lot of people don't know that you're kind of the right hand man. You're the guy that's with Gundy, with Boynton at some of these game day kind of things.
Yeah, so I've been extremely blessed. Whenever this opportunity came up back in '95, after I got hired, I traveled with football quite a bit. And we were just there to be liaisons to other agencies. So football has a lot of travel, have a lot of people in their travel party. And if something was to go wrong or anything, not necessarily people getting in trouble, but let's say something got stolen, we were there to be the liaison between the law enforcement agencies that they would come in contact with, and kind of walk them through everything. And also we keep an eye on the team, the players, make sure they're not being disturbed by fans that when they're getting ready for the games and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, but it's a lot of fun and get to see quite a bit of the world.
I'm sure you do, man. Yeah, totally. And one of the things that I think is interesting is that, I mean, you're there, you're in Indianapolis right now. Who's kind of running the show here at OSU?
So we have 4 captains at OSU. We got Captain Galbraith, who's over at OSU Tulsa. He takes care of the Tulsa campus for me. Captain Coach Chandler, he's patrol captain there at Stillwater. We got Captain Dan Ray, who runs the EOC. And then we have Captain Gilliman, who takes care of our technical side of things, so reports and records.
Great, yeah, and so that means when scofflaws like me, when scoundrels like me get into trouble, get into parking tickets, they're the ones that will keep me in check while you're in Indianapolis.
Yes. Yes.
That is great, man. So yeah, and then getting into Stillwater, right? You just talked about you got here about 26 years ago. I guess like what was your life like before that? Take me through that journey. How'd you get here?
So after graduating high school, I went to work for Walmart, 1985. Worked at Walmart for 9 years. Started doing loss prevention for them. That's why I started catching shoplifters. And I got transferred to Stillwater, Oklahoma. First to Enid, Oklahoma. Stayed there for a year, then transferred to Stillwater. That was in 1987. So I just fell in love with Stillwater. It just kind of reminded me of home, but a little bit larger. And things just seemed like that's where things could get done for me. I belong there. And while catching shoplifters, I got a chance to work with the Stillwater Police Department quite a bit because I called them every time I called a shoplifter. And they were encouraging me to apply. And I found out that Oklahoma State University had a police department at the time. And so I applied at both places. And OSU hired me as a patrol officer in 1994. So from there, everything just kind of took off for me. I went back to school, got my master's degree, went to the FBI National Academy for Law Enforcement Officers, and just worked my way up from patrol officer to chief of police.
Before we talk about the FBI, because we are going to get into that, I want to ask you two key Walmart questions, okay? Number one, a lot of people online and stuff, they will think that they're so slick with, not scanning something at the self-checkout, just, sneaking it out. I mean, reveal the secrets. How unslick really are they?
I tell you what, it's amazing the technology that Walmart has is incredible. And back when I worked there, it wasn't near as technical as it is now. But let's say I remember in the Stillwater store, it was where JCPenney's used to be. We had just got a shipment of those synthesizers in, keyboard, and we got a shipment of 12 in. And I remember walking by the counter and looking and seeing like it was only 3 left. But I was like, we couldn't have sold that many in a matter of 3 hours. So I went and got the barcode off the one of the keyboards and scanned it. Found out we hadn't sold any. They were walking out the door. So we did have decent cameras back then. They wasn't like real good like they are today, but I was able to go back and over those 4 hours realize who had taken the keyboards, and then at least one of them was a store employee, but the other 3 were just people that just walked in and just took them right out.
Wow.
Today, technology is so great that everything is like scanned in when they receive it, and it's scanned out when they sell it. So they can tell when something has been sold and something hasn't been sold. But at the same time, it's when you're up there at the self-checkout, and it's so incredible. They can see when you scan something and when you don't.
That is awesome. Oh my goodness.
Now they might not contact you right at that point, but when you come back in the next time, they'll definitely be watching.
Walmart doesn't mess around. Seriously, that is awesome. So weigh in on this though. So maybe this is a conflict of interest. I don't know, but there's a huge debate between which Walmart is better, 6th Avenue or Perkins. You tell me.
So I guess that's probably not a fair statement for me, but I worked in that Walmart over in Perkins on Perkins Road for quite a while. So I always go out to West Walmart. And so that's kind of biased on my part because I worked in the old store so long, I don't want to be in there anymore.
You are Team 6th Avenue. Oh my God. As a biased journalist, Chief Jones, I am so disappointed. I'm so disappointed because I am so biased towards the Perkins one. I love it. I think it has character.
It does.
It definitely does. But you went from Walmart loss prevention to an FBI training program. What was that like?
That was 14 weeks of I enjoyed it. It was a lot of hard work, a lot of classroom stuff, and physical agility. When we worked out every single day, stayed in shape. But the classroom work we did was accredited through the University of Virginia. So I ended up getting 12 hours of college credit while I was there. It was a lot of fun, an experience that you can't match. It was the ultimate in law enforcement training for me.
Yeah, oh, I bet. And sort of, I guess, like what you might not even be able to reveal some of these things, but can you reveal any secrets you might have learned there about, like, I guess, how to go about your law enforcement life?
Yeah, we did. I took classes in terrorism, which there a lot of good stuff come out of that. The handwriting analysis class, they showed us tips and points on handwriting analysis. So a lot of the stuff I would have to go back through. I hadn't really got a chance to use it since I've been the chief lately, but a lot of the stuff I can go back through my books because I kept everything and refresh myself really easy on the terrorism part of it. Was really interesting to me. Realizing the types of different groups out there, even domestic and foreign, that we all have to keep our eye out for. And it's just, the FBI Academy was really revealing on such a higher standard of training because it's so in depth. Now, the other side of it was, might not be able to tell it now, but back then we were running, by the time we finished the FBI Academy, we was running 15 miles. So we had to do the yellow brick road, as they call it, which is an obstacle course that the Marines do. And get your yellow brick after going through that means that you have made it. So I was in session 222, section 5 of the FBI Academy, which only 1/3 of law enforcement in the world go to.
That's absolutely incredible, and brings a whole new meaning to the yellow brick road.
Yes.
I got to get myself on there. Maybe I got to get some exercise. But so you don't think you could do that today? 15 miles?
Recently I started back working out heavy and running again. I say right now, comfortably, I could probably get 3 miles in.
There you go.
It'll take me a while to get back up to the 15.
Leon Jones,
especially with the way we ran it then.
Yeah, by this time next year, okay, whatever today's date is, I think it's the 17th or 16th. We will be sure that you're at the level of the yellow brick road. I'm not saying I will, but we'll be sure you will.
I'd love that. I would love that.
We will challenge you right here and now. So let me ask you this. You were at the FBI Training Academy, right? You're progressing back into your police chief role there. Speaking kind of like a similar question to the Walmart one, where people think that they're slick. How slick do college students think that they are with maybe trying to finesse their way out of a speeding ticket or whatever? With this FBI training?
Well, the old saying is, if we ask you a question about something, we already know the answer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like the speeding ticket. It's really, the facts are right there in front of us, especially we have the radar. And we clock your speed in at 10 miles over the speed limit. Sure. We already have you. It just depends on whether we want to issue the ticket or not. So I don't want to call it bait and switch or anything, but try to distract or change the direction of conversation when we ask anyone about a crime or anything that they have committed. The trick is to try to get the officers to think about something else and distract them so that they kind of lose track of where they were going when they're investigating it, and don't work. Because once you committed the crime and the law enforcement officers are on you, it's just a matter of time before the truth comes out.
Sure. Yeah, no, definitely.
Now, the difference between the FBI and real law enforcement, I say real law enforcement, but the difference between the FBI Academy and Police Academy is paperwork. We studied a lot of paperwork while at the FBI, learning the behavioral side of things and the behavioral side of people. Or in law enforcement, we get out there and we get right in the middle of it, hands-on, and investigate the crimes.
Yeah, and I guess, like, when you're dealing with I guess, because OSU, Stillwater's a crazy town. There's some crazy kids here. It's a good time though. What's probably the worst excuse that you've heard when either pulling someone over or I guess investigating something?
Okay, so I just this example was a person coming in from out of town and they run a stop sign. Just blatantly just run the stop sign, and I stop them. Didn't have any intentions of giving them a citation, but their excuse was, "I'm not from here."
Oh my God.
Now, I never said this, never said it. I can understand you're not from here, but everywhere I'm from, STOP means stop. Same language. Now, I didn't say that because that would have been, I didn't want to sound like a butt with anybody that I pull over.
Sure.
So I was like, I understand you're not from here, but just pay attention to the street signs. They'll direct you wherever you need to go.
Yeah, STOP. That means stop to me. Red means stop to me too. I mean, come on. So when and like, I guess in your day-to-day life now, is your job as police chief, is it more of a managerial type of role, or are you doing even some of these like routine traffic stops or anything like that?
So I try to make it a point to get out and keep myself, in the loop on everything. So I'll throw the uniform on and go out and work with the guys. I'll even, I work all the basketball games in uniform and football games in uniform. So every now and then I go and jump in a car and go patrol, so I can just stay in the mix of everything. I'll just run into here real quick.
Oh, there he is. There's Mr. Cade Cunningham. How are you, sir?
How are you? I'm great. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Hey, are you ready for Liberty?
Yeah, I'm ready. You already know.
You know it, baby. You know it, baby. Cade Cunningham also joining O'Connell Unreported with Chief Leon Jones.
But yeah, I'll jump in uniform and I'll get out and patrol just so I can stay in the loop and know what's going on. But most of my work now is personnel, making sure all the guys have what they need to perform their duties and be successful.
Yeah, and you're preparing them, and you're able to go to events like this, and that is, I mean, Leon Jones, it sounds like you have you're just one of the most interesting people on campus, I think. Yeah,
I tell you, I talked to Coach Borden, especially now with the bubble and the COVID and all the stuff, the procedures that the NCAA has us going through, and I was like, man, I feel like I'm not really doing much. And he's like, yeah, you're part of the team. So, which made me think we just created a new program for all of athletics where we have an officer assigned to each sport as a liaison officer. So we have an officer assigned for each sport. We also started a program of officers assigned for residential life. And that's their guide. There's their girls. That's the people that they'll contact if they have any questions or anything. So you think about it, I told them, and we're just wanting to get to be part of the community. Seriously, we really want people to get to know us, and we want to get to work to get the grades, and especially athletes, they practice, they play the game, they still have to do the homework and get the grades turned in. And so they're not always able to come to us. So we want to go to them and let them know that we're here, build the trust up, and let them know that whatever happens, cooperation is the thing. And we're not here to just jack with people. We want everybody to be successful as possible. So we're transparent with everything that we have. I want to explain to everybody what the laws are, the rules and regulations, but that is just not our role on campus. That's not our only role on campus. The mental well-being is part of it. And before you can be mentally well, you got to feel that you're safe. So safety is a big part of that well-being. And that's what we want to create as the OSU Police Department. Is let people know that they're safe first and foremost, but they're safe from the police too. We're here to help. We're not here to hurt. So unfortunately, people will come in contact with us that it's not so favorable. But consequences are consequences. And after that's over with, we can get back on being on good terms, because we're not going to continue messing with you because you ran a stop sign.
Yeah.
Or you made a mistake. We want to help you get past that.
I think that's the overall message that people need to see from the OSU police. I think they're here to protect the OSU community, and also as you just said there, they're trying to help out the students too, whether it's grades, whether it's just well-being in everyday life. You guys are assigned to a whole bunch of different people here, and you're assigned to every student here in a way by protecting them. So Chief Jones, salute to you, my friend. Thank you for joining episode 5 of Ocali Unreported. And what's your prediction for OSU against Liberty?
I knew you was going to ask me that. Of course, I predict the win. I just really hope. I feel like the guys are ready, so I predict the win. I hate throwing out scores because I jinx us. Mm-hmm. But I feel that we'll go pretty deep in the tournament.
There you go.
Great group, great group of guys, great coaches, and of course they allow me to be part of it. So I'm biased on that.
Chief Jones, a teammate of OSU basketball, joining us on Ocali Unreported. Stick around, and we will be joined next by Ocali design editor Anna Tucker. Thank you, Chief Jones.
Hi, OSU. I'm Ryan Novozinski. Novozinsky. Why is it spelled that way? Because I'm from New Jersey. I'm your editor-in-chief of The Ocali, and I've got some news for you. Are you tired of living in the 1970s? Are you tired of getting paper cuts every time you read our printed product? Are you tired of the batteries in your Walkman running out? Are you tired of the guilt and shame of destroying forests whenever you read our paper? Well, boy, do I got some news for you. Our top scientists have developed a new way to bring our product directly to you. Is it on VHS? No. Is it on DVD? Get out of town. We're bringing it right to your mobile device. Are you cool enough to be a part of this electronic generation? It's called the e-Collie. Sign up for the e-Collie today. Anna Tucker joining us here, Ocali Unreported. Welcome back, America. We're here. We're with Anna, okay? Anna is the design editor of the OSU student newspaper, the Ocali, okay? Welcome in, Anna. Thank you for being here on the program.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Look, anytime, okay? Anytime. Except probably not for the next 5 weeks because we've already had you and we kind of do like an editor's cycle a little bit. And it might even be longer than that because we're trying to get writers and maybe even graphic designers on, okay? So, yeah, like how are you doing today?
I'm great.
That's good to hear. Let's start off with this, okay? Let's just get the elephant. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, okay? How many times did I not hire you?
That would be a whopping 3.
3 times Anna's resume came through our system, and 3 times I didn't hire her. But now I look back at that and I'm like, wow, we should have hired her from the get-go because she is a fantastic design editor.
That's what I'm saying.
So tell us about your rise to graphic design, okay? You are from Owasso, okay? Go Rams.
No.
I know. That's the public school, though. No, but tell us, like, did you have some sort of superhero origin story, supervillain origin story, I should say, where you were like a good protege with drawing and stuff?
No, I did not. I actually came into school. I got accepted as a biology major.
Gross.
Yeah, and I figured that out really quick.
Like Punnett squares and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I switched to marketing,
Mm-hmm.
and then I realized that I wanted to do design instead, so I switched to design. Was scared I wasn't going to make money, switched back to marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Realized that was stupid, switched back to design.
Why? So you went from bio, marketing, design, marketing, design? Why? How?
I'm very indecisive.
What's your next one? History?
Hopefully design.
I love history. Sorry, off topic, but like, oh my goodness, that is such a journey. I've never heard. You are actually probably the record holder at this school for most majors changed. I have never seen it go back and forth like that. And such a broad range, too, I feel like. What from marketing taught you to be a good designer?
That's the kicker. I actually never took a marketing class.
Oh,
Except now I'm a marketing minor, so I'm in the classes.
okay, so there's still a little bit of there's semblance of marketing there.
Nothing
What
like-
from biology made you want to go to design?
I thought that biology was a safe choice, and then I realized that design's what I actually like to do.
I like that. I like that a lot. So what? 10 years from now, okay? We talk about 10-year plans here. What is the dude doing? What are you doing?
Hopefully I'm at an agency that does lots of different work.
Mhm.
I want to just kind of do everything, like motion, print,
Mhm.
digital.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what you do now. That's how you blend all these Adobe softwares together. You guys should look at plug your website real quick. So say your website.
AnnaTuckerArt.com.
Anna
Nice.
AnnaTuckerArt.com. It is the most beautifully designed website I've ever seen. Okay, and I've seen many. I've seen our own website. It knocks it out of the park. Okay, like. How did you get so good at doing that at the online sort of design elements?
Classes, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Not just practice.
I mean, yeah, practice,
Sure.
but
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and you've enjoyed your experience as design editor so far.
I've loved it.
You've loved it. What's your favorite part? We'll go favorite part first.
Honestly, it's like a puzzle every day, and I love puzzles.
I love puzzles. Okay. Least favorite part.
Last minute changes.
Stop. Don't you dare. This is actually, she's being passive aggressive about this to me today because there was just a last minute change that I just told her about just before this.
No.
Correct? Uh-huh.
There was a change, yes.
There was, yes. There actually probably will be more, okay? Breaking news. But, so, when you look at the current state of newspaper design, right, do you envision that being something you want to do in the future? Or do you even think it'll exist in the future?
I hope it still exists.
You think?
Yeah.
You don't think that generation that reads newspapers, physical newspapers, is going to be gone?
I mean, I hope they're still around because I think they're cool. They have the ability to be cool.
Yeah, they do. But even myself, like, I'll be honest with you. I'll be real honest with you, okay? Even as an editor-in-chief sometimes, like, I look at a paper and I want to fall asleep. Like, not yours specifically.
Right.
But there's other ones, like, across town, across states. On our cross-country journeys, John Helsley, our advisor, advised me and Sadeep to pick up some newspapers all across the country. I looked at all of them and I was like, this is so boring. Like, yeah, this will help me sleep in the car. And it did. Because it was just like, the state of it is not great.
And that's where design comes in.
That's where design helps, okay? So what's your vision when you look at a new project you're about to do? How do you go about, creating some of these ideas in your head?
Any project?
Any project.
Well, graphic design is about problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
So I think about the problem that needs to be solved.
Mm-hmm.
So, like for the newspaper, it needs to be legible.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to look interesting. So I try to address all those problems as creatively and aesthetically pleasing as possible.
That's what I'm saying. Now it's finally time for me to ask the question that I ask you probably every week. Okay. Well, actually, I ask you this question every day. How's life?
Life is great.
Life is great. Okay. Because the code for how's life in the OSU student newspaper world is that that's my way of asking the design editors, how's the paper going?
That's his way of being passive.
No, I wouldn't say so. But you understand. It's kind of like a new language we got, okay?
Yeah.
What is your deepest, darkest secret?
It's not time yet.
Why? I think this is perfect timing.
I don't know.
Tell us like a not deep but a highly elevated secret.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. That's so last
Intrusive?
minute.
Okay. So
Give me a topic.
okay. Topic. School.
A secret about school?
Yes.
I don't know.
Doesn't have to. Okay. Like maybe you copied off of your friend in 3rd grade or something like that.
No, here's a secret.
Okay.
Cheating makes me so guilty.
Really?
Yes.
Have you ever had an instance where you cheated and confessed?
Hadn't?
No. Have you ever had a like event where you cheated on a test or a quiz or a homework assignment and then you confessed?
Yeah, in high school.
Let's
and then
hear
I
about it.
don't do it.
Let's hear about it.
So I forgot what class it was, but I cheated on something, and I felt so guilty that I went back and I was like, listen, I cheated. Can I retake it? And they were like,
Gosh.
sure.
Did they respect it?
They did respect
Or
it.
did they give you the old, Southern Christian school, like, this is unacceptable?
They probably should have done that,
should
but
have
they
done that.
respected
Uh-huh.
it.
But, you kind of had the get out of jail. I'm a big Monopoly fan, okay? You kind of have the get out of jail free card there. You can do that for every single assignment from here on out. Because you can
No.
just use your credibility, okay? And you can just say, hey, I messed up. I effed up. There you go.
Then
There's-
you lose your credibility.
Not if you do it for different classes. If you spread it out across different classes. And I'm not condoning this. I don't condone this. I don't do it because I don't cheat. I don't need to cheat. But you will always be looked at for me now as a cheater. You joined the Houston Astros. You joined Bill Belichick. And I'm a Patriots fan. You're a cheater.
Dang.
But it looks like you got. How'd you do on the assignment? How'd you end up doing?
I think, well,
There you go.
I don't really remember.
That's all you can ask for. Okay. So Anna, let's hear about, you grew up in small town America. Owasso's a small town, outskirts of Tulsa. What was that experience like for you? Because I'm a big Owasso fan.
Really?
Huge. You ever been to the Panda Express there? Great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was very boring. Not much to do. You just go to Walmart, drive around. That's
TJ
it.
Maxx Home Goods is there.
That's true.
That's a hybrid.
That's a hot spot.
That is a serious hotspot. I love that place. I spent my entire quarantine summer in Owasso. It was great.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Why?
What do you mean why?
Why were you in
My brother
Owasso?
he lived there. He lived in
Gotcha.
Collinsville, actually, so.
That's not
Big
Owasso.
rivalry.
So.
It is 126th. That's right there. You go to 116th, you're in Owasso. Kinda. 106 maybe.
Kinda.
Kinda, sorta, not really. Kinda, sorta, not really. Okay, so you're a junior now. Okay. Last couple questions for you. What is the senior year going to look like for you? Is next year going to be the year of Anna?
Hopefully, it'll be very busy.
With doing what?
Classes,
Mm-hmm.
mainly classes,
More classes.
more classes.
Any work?
Yeah.
Where are you working this summer?
Applying to internships right now.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting to hear back.
Mm-hmm. Anywhere in particular?
A few.
God, man, you're giving me nothing. You're giving me nothing. I've had easier interviews with big time college coaches than I have with you. Oh my goodness, you're taught well in the media world. Do you just look around you in the newsroom and say, I shouldn't reveal anything? Kind of.
Yeah.
I would too. That Chris Becker, he's a real
He's nosy.
Bob Woodward kind of type of journalist.
Yeah.
You never know. And that Adam Engel too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anna, we thank you so much for joining us here on Ocali Unreported. Thank you for all your designs. Thank you for all your help. We are eternally grateful for it. Do you have any final words you want to say to the audience out there? America.
America.
Yes.
Thank you for listening.
As always. And thank you all for listening. From me, personally. We appreciate it. We will see you in 2 weeks when we'll have our next guest right here on Ocali Unreported. Have a great day.
OMG.